Hello. Good evening, my lovely warriors. Welcome aboard. This is your captain Shreyas, and welcome to the first session of your sprint series. So, if you are a 12th standard student, if you are a dropper student, this is a session must for you. This is a series for you. And if you are an 11th standard student, you can still watch it, provided you have already studied the topic. So welcome aboard to the sprint series, and today is the first class. What is the sprint series all about? Sprint series is about leveling up. Sprint series is making sure you crack JEE in the first attempt, just like the title says. Sprint series is about brushing up the concepts, not by reading theory, but by amazing problems handpicked by us and the amazing content team just for you. So are you ready? Yes, it's also helpful for 11th, provided these topics are from 11th standard. And if you see a 12th standard topic, you might choose not to watch it. But yes, if you're a 12th and a dropper student, you must watch it. So all of this with me, your captain Shreyas, for you. Welcome aboard, all my lovely warriors. Ashish is ready. Hello, Ishwara is always ready. Thank you, Surya, for all the love. Good evening, Kritika. Champion, welcome, Ishpreet. Hello, DM kids. Hi, Abhinav. Hi, Satvik. Yep, Satvik, you can cover up your 11th backlog in 1 month. Just follow the strategy session that I gave, a couple of days back. Hi, Sarthi. Hi, RC Flash. Welcome aboard, all my lovely warriors. And if you want to know more about me, you can definitely follow me on my Instagram handle as well. And yes, thanks a lot for smashing that like button, and thanks a lot for hitting the subscribe button, because that's where we will get our channel in front of you easily, because only when you hit the like and the subscribe button does the YouTube decide, the algorithm decides that yes, this video is going to come up right in front of all those students who are studying in the current 11th or 12th standard. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button and do not miss any of our classes. So today's journey is a long one. It's just the beginning. It's a long journey, because now once you start the sprint series, that means you have pressed that button. You have given that go ahead that yes sir, we are with you. Captain, just tell us the way till the last JEE Mains and the last advanced examination. That's what it is. And believe me, you have taken the right step, because you are going to do something which others are not doing right now. Maybe others are just going through some theory notes still. Maybe others are still, sleeping. But now that you have started this journey, that will give you that luxury later on, and you will be doing those things which others aren't doing, or rather they won't be able to do. So basically you are essentially getting yourself that luxury of time where you can revise and give lots and lots of mock tests in the days to come. So let's get going. Are you guys ready? Is the Josh high? Very good, Prasant. Nice to know that. Let's move ahead. And by the way, let me tell you, this is completely problems. Also, you will get assignments in the form of homework, and the PDF will be uploaded on the Telegram channel. And also remember one more thing, we are going to revise all the chapters, all the important chapters for JEE Mains plus Advanced. So let's get going. And here comes the first question on your screen now. This is a position time graph for a particle which moves along the x-axis. Position versus time. You can see it's a curved line. You can see the minima occurring at time t0. Which of the following do you think is the correct statement? Come on, think about this. Come on, think. Hi Kiru, welcome aboard. Pavitra understood it, Mohammed also got it. Perfect. Don't worry, even if you found the first question difficult, don't worry. There are a lot of questions which are going to boost up your confidence. But the best part is the questions are all tricky. Let's see. The speed is decreasing, the acceleration is 0, the direction of acceleration is opposite, both 1 and 3. Think carefully. This is a curved graph, this is not a straight graph. So I think we should look at slopes. Because This is position, this is time. What does the slope of position time graph give you? It gives you velocity, correct? So let's try and draw the slope over here, a tangent over here. This is the tangent. Over here the tangent becomes like this, and then finally the tangent becomes like this, and then the tangent becomes like this, and then the tangent becomes like this. So is the slope constant? What do you guys say? Is the slope constant? Here, 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 here. What do you guys say? Is the slope constant? I'm pretty sure it is not. The slope is definitely not constant. So slope is not constant. That means the velocity is definitely not constant. That means the velocity is changing. Do you see here the slope is negative? Here also it is negative. Here it is 0. Here it is positive. Here it becomes more positive. Here it was in fact more negative. More negative, less negative, 0, positive, positive. So now think about it. What option will fit the best? Option A says speed is decreasing from 0 to t0. Let's think about it. From here to here, assume that the slope was initially -7. Imagine. Then let's say the slope becomes -3. Then eventually the slope will become 0. Agree? -7, -3. I'm just taking some numbers just to give you the feel. I'm not saying the slope is -7. Just think about an example where the slope is more negative, then less negative, and then 0. Now, if you take the modulus of the slope, what will be the modulus of this? The modulus of -7 is 7, this is 3, and the modulus of 0 is obviously 0. The modulus basically gives you the speed value. What does the modulus function give? Modulus of velocity is speed. So 730, is it not decreasing? Yes, the speed is decreasing. So option A should be correct. Option A is correct. I hope you guys saw that. What about this? Acceleration is 0 at time t0. Wrong. In fact, the velocity is becoming negative, 0 and positive. Velocity is not constant. That means acceleration is definitely there. Acceleration is not 0. So hence, this is wrong option. The direction of acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion. Doesn't make sense. Okay. In fact, if this is correct, this should be wrong. But let's just be doubly sure because there is one more option out there. Yep. Let's have a look. The direction of acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion. Interesting. Now, where is the velocity from 0 to t0? Look at this. From 0 to t0, the velocity is in fact negative. Can you see that? Why is the velocity negative? Because the values of the slopes are negative. Slope is negative. What about the acceleration? Think about it. What is the direction of the acceleration? What is the direction of acceleration? Think carefully. Is the direction of acceleration positive or is it negative? Think carefully. Here, acceleration was more negative. Velocity was more negative. It became less negative and then 0. So if you think about what the acceleration should be, which is nothing but change in velocity divided by time. Is the change in velocity positive or negative? Is the change in velocity positive or negative? If you are not able to understand this, final minus initial, think of it like this: -3 minus -7 divided by time. Final minus initial. Just take some random numbers, it's okay. -3 minus -7. 7 minus 3 will be 4 divided by time, which is nothing but positive, my dear warriors. Observe that. Mickey, it is not negative. Look at it. It is positive because it is becoming less negative. The change is positive. From -7, it became -3. -7 is more negative. -3 is more positive, right? Or less negative. So velocity has increased. So acceleration is positive. So if acceleration is positive, if it is positive, do you see that the direction of acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion? Do you see even C option is correct? Do you see even C option is correct? That means both 1 and 3 or A and C are correct. That means actually speaking D option is correct. Got it, my warriors? Got it, my warriors? So that's the logic for solving this question. What a brilliant question. Many of you got it wrong initially, but finally you guys got it, I guess. Okay. So what is the concept used over here? I'll repeat. The concept used over here was checking the slope. If assuming the slope was -7, then the slope became -3. The modulus was speed. So the speed definitely was decreasing. But if you talked about change in velocity was final minus initial, that was basically positive. So that change in velocity by time was acceleration. So acceleration was positive, velocity was negative. So even this option was correct. That's it. So that's how we got the option D. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Going ahead, there is a heavy particle. It is projected from a point at the foot of a flying plane, inclined at an angle of 45 degrees to the horizontal. In the vertical plane containing the line of the greatest slope through the point, okay, if theta is more than 45, the inclination with the horizontal of the initial direction of projection for what value of tan theta, actually this should be theta, should the particle strike the plane horizontally. This is not 5, this is theta. Okay, let's try and understand what is this. Okay, first of all, there is a particle which is projected from a point from the foot of a not flying plane. This is supposed to be inclined plane. This is not flying, this is inclined. Okay, fair enough. So we have an inclined plane right over here. Okay, and let's say the angle of inclination, it's also given. I think the angle of inclination is 45 degrees. It is 45 degrees. Now you are throwing that particle, okay, with an angle theta. If theta is the inclination with the horizontal of the initial direction of projection, so you are throwing that particle with an angle theta, with the horizontal. It's the angle measured with the horizontal. Then let's assume this is u. For that particle to strike the plane horizontally, that means it should go and hit like this. This is the meaning of horizontally. See if you guys have understood this. So it has struck the plane horizontally. This is horizontal. That's what the question says. If this is the condition, then what should be the value of theta? Is it now understood? Did you understand the diagram? Always for kinematics, draw diagrams. Understand the question part by part. Once you understand it, now it becomes easy. Observe how easy this question is now. Let's think about it. Guys, if this is 45 degrees, we all know that if I somehow draw a right angled triangle, let's say like this, okay, if I draw a right angled triangle like this becomes an isosceles right angled triangle, because we know if you have a right angled triangle where one is 45, the other will be 45, this side and this side will be equal, right? So this will become an isosceles right angled triangle. So that means, for example, if this is length L, this will be also length L. Everybody agrees with this point? Fair enough? Cool? Okay. Now think this way. When the velocity becomes horizontal, that means there is no vertical component of velocity. So at this point, can I say the velocity along y-axis is 0? Because there is only velocity along horizontal direction. Fair enough? So if I write the equation in y-axis, what would my equation look like? Think. In y-axis, I think I can use v is u plus at. So vy is uy plus ayt, and I can just say vy is 0, uy is u sine theta minus g into t. Correct? This is what I can say. Y minus, because acceleration is down, t is the time taken for it to hit it. Just rearrange, you will get gt is equal to u sine of theta. That's what I got till here. I'll just keep it aside. I don't need it now. Fair enough. Now, also one more equation that I can think of in the y direction is regarding the length, because I think length is there even in the horizontal direction. Maybe I can write one more equation for length. Let's see what happens. Oops, my remote just fell down. Okay, yeah, so let's see what happens. So if I write vy square is uy square plus 2ay sy, what do I get? Vy is length square, uy is u square sine square theta minus 2gl. Makes sense? This is what I will get. This is what I will get. Okay, in the y-axis. Now in basically x-axis, what will I write? Think about it. In x-axis, if I have to write down any equation, can I write down something? I think so. I can write it down this way. Look at it. This distance L, because horizontal speed never changes. The horizontal speed never changes. Can I say L is u cos theta into t? Can I just say L is u cos theta into t? Thank you guys for pointing it out. Vy, the vertical velocity is 0. So this should have been u sine theta, u square sine square theta minus 2g, and the height is nothing but L. I think now it should be fine. Okay, fair enough. Clear? All right. So if this is correct, but again from here, I do not get anything related to time. Again, I'm not getting anything related to time. Just look at this. I can just rearrange this equation. I'll just get u square sine square theta is equal to 2gl. I will not get anything related to time over here. That means the only option left with me. What is the only option left with me? The only option left with me is using the second kinematic equation, which is S is ut plus half a t square. So the displacement in the y-axis is L. Initial velocity is u sine theta into t, correct? U sine theta into t, and minus half g t square. Now do you see both the equations have L and they also have t over here. So now does it look solvable? Now does it look solvable? Look at this equation and look at this equation. Now can you solve both of them? Now solving this, you will be able to eliminate L as well as t. Does it make sense? Now why did I choose this question? The only reason why I chose this question is because I wanted you to understand how to choose kinematic equations in difficult situations. Most often what happens is that you choose some wrong equation or you get stuck in some equations. That's when you should analyze what are the different variables that you need to get rid of. Certain variables you don't need, certain variables you need. So in those situations, just write down all the equations and see what is needed, what is not needed. In y-axis, in y direction, I saw that I can write v is u plus at. So from this I got time. In y direction, if I use the third equation, I got v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So arranging this, I got this one, but it does not have time. In the second equation, I got length as well as time, and those both variables were also there in the equation for the x-axis. Can you see that? It was also there in the equation for the x-axis. That's where I can probably use both these equations to solve the question. That's how you will use it. Is that clear, my warriors? Is that clear, my warriors, how you can use it? Perfect. Yep. Cool. Let's get moving. So I'm leaving it up to you now to solve both these equations and then get the answer. Okay, you will get tan theta is equal to b, which is 2. Perfect. Perfect. Chalo, let's get moving to the next question coming up on your screen. And here it is. Between two stations, there is a train which accelerates from rest and uniformly first, then moves with constant velocity, and then finally retards uniformly to come to rest. If the ratio of the time taken is 1:8:1 and the maximum speed is 60, then what is the average speed of the whole journey? Okay, Yep. Yes, Vedic Goel, this is also for droppers. So what is the value of acceleration in the x-axis? Well, I'm not sure which question you are referring to, Sharon. Observe this question. Now, the question says find the average speed for the whole journey. What is average speed? Average speed is total displacement by total time. Okay. So I think I will need the total displacement. For that, I feel it's better to draw a graph and then solve this question, because I'll get more idea about this. Let's say this is time axis. Let's say this is velocity axis. What does it say? It accelerates, then moves with constant, and then retards. So shouldn't the velocity graph first be increasing, then become constant for a long time, and then again come down? This much time, let's say if it is t, then this much time, because the ratio of the time taken is given 1:8:t. If this is t, this is 8t, and this much again is t, according to the given information. Also mentioned is the maximum speed. What is the maximum speed? The maximum speed is 60. The maximum speed will be 60. Correct? Let's solve this now. Let's solve this and see what do we get. See, because we want to find the average speed. Average speed means total displacement by total time. Fair enough, total displacement by total time. So, to find total displacement, how do you find it out graphically? When you have velocity versus time, think about it. When you have graph of velocity versus time, what do you guys do? You find the area under the graph, correct? So, if you find out the area under the graph, what will that area give you? That area will give you the displacement. And what is the area of a trapezium? The area of a trapezium. What is the area of a trapezium? You would have studied this in 9th standard. The area of a trapezium is half into the sum of the parallel sides into the height of the trapezium. So it will be half into sum of the parallel sides. This is one side, this is another side. What is this side? That is 8t. So it will be 8t plus the bigger side, t plus 8t plus t, that is 10t. So that's why plus 10t into height. What is the height? That is nothing but 60. Correct? So 60 by 2, that is going to be 30, and 8t plus 10t, that is going to be 18t. So 18 3s are 54, so 540t. That is what the displacement comes out to be. But that's not the question. The question is average speed. So average speed will be displacement divided by the total time. What is the total displacement? It is 540t. What is the total time? T plus 8t plus t, which is 10t. tt goes, 0 0 goes, how much is remaining? 54. So hence the answer should be 54 kilometers per hour. Perfect. So Aditya, if you are poor in maths and physics, you should solve more and more questions, bacha. Solve more calculative based questions. Make sure you know the tables and get a physical understanding. Try to relate both the subjects. Maths can be improved by practice. Physics can be improved by taking examples and relating real life problems with whatever laws you have studied. And eventually, once you are getting a hang of it, then try to combine both of them. Try to convert the physical laws by relating it to the maths and then forming equations. That's all. Okay, so how to solve it normally? Normally, if you try and solve it using kinematic equations, it's going to be very lengthy. You will have to write S is ut plus half at square. Displacement is velocity into time. S is ut plus half at square. Add the displacements, then divide it by time. And then doing all these things will take a long time. So I would not advise you to do by that method. By a graph, it would be easy. Hi Kiran, welcome aboard. Is this understood? Perfect. Yep. So Sriram, this is a problem solving session. This is sprint session. So we are solving more and more problems. And yep, this is for 12th standard droppers as well as even 11th standard students can also attend it, provided you have some idea about these chapters. Because the only way to revise physics is via problems, not via reading theory. Because at the end of the day, in JEE, BITSAT, KVPY, VIT, whichever exam you give, there are only going to be MCQs and problems, not theory. A stone is dropped from a certain height. which can reach the ground in 5 seconds. The same stone, if it is stopped after 3 seconds of its fall, and again you allow it to fall again, then the time taken by the stone to reach the ground for the remaining distances. Let's try and solve this question. Okay, let's figure this out. What does this question mean? This question says that you drop a stone, okay, you drop a stone from certain height. Let's say that height is h. It falls down onto the ground and it takes 5 seconds to fall. It takes 5 seconds to fall. And we know what's the relation between time and height. You have already learned it. So the time taken to fall, okay, the time taken to fall is root of 2 times of height divided by g. That's your standard formula, 2h by g. So therefore 5 will be equal to root of 2 into h divided by g. Therefore 5 square, which is 25, is 2h by g. Therefore I'm using capital H, so I'll put capital H here. So therefore h will be equal to nothing but 25 g by 2. So that's what you will get the height as. I think I might need it later on, and maybe I'll keep it aside for my use later on. Okay. Now the question says if the stone is stopped within 3 seconds. Okay. So that means what happens? You drop that stone. It drops only by a small height, let's say h, and it takes only 3 seconds to reach here. So obviously there is some remaining height right from here till here. Okay, that height is going to take some other time. Now the question is, what time will this take? So what is this height, by the way? This height is nothing but h minus h. So the question is, for h minus h, how much time will it take? Now a lot of you might be thinking, sir, if it takes 5 seconds to fall here, if it takes 3 seconds, then obviously remaining will be 2 seconds. So answer should be 2 seconds. But that's not it. Be careful. Here when it falls 5 seconds without any stopping. If you stop it, you have lost some velocity. Because you have lost some velocity and you are again going to start accelerating from 0 because you have stopped here, that means the time taken will be more than 2 seconds. So 2 seconds is not even going to be the answer. Using same logic, the same formula, can I not say the time, which is 3, will be root of 2 times of small h divided by g? Squaring 9 will be equal to 2h by g. Therefore h will be equal to 9g by 2. Now for the remaining part, again you stop it. That means it's as good as dropping from here. So again using same formula, the time taken to fall will be root of 2 into h minus h divided by g. So this will be root of 2 by g, h minus h, capital minus small. So it will be nothing but 25g by 2 minus 9g divided by 2. So g 2 gets cancelled. Root of 25 minus 9 remains. That is root of 16, which is just 4 seconds, which is option C. See if this makes sense. Perfecto. The answer is 4 seconds. It is not 7 seconds. Be careful, bacha. I hope this is clear. Got it, my warriors? So the logic used over here is just this formula. Time to fall is root of 2h by g, and every time it stops, the time taken to fall is calculated by this formula, and rest is just geometry. If this is total height h, if this is small h, this minus this is going to give me the remaining height. That's all. Perfecto? Shall we go ahead? Okay. Here comes the next question. Observe this, read this question carefully. Okay, so if some person is stopping it, yep, so there will be a retarding force for sure, and there must be equal to the weight at the instant of stopping. In fact, it might be more than that also, because you are also having that momentum. So to stop that momentum plus that mass, the force that will be acting will be much larger than the weight. What is the velocity of the ground after free fall? You can use v is equal to u plus at, bacha, Sharan, and you know the initial velocity is 0, acceleration is g, time, from that you can find it out. Yes, you can attend this class, Ashwath, if you have watched my one shots on kinematics, for sure. Thank you, Yogesh, so much. Yep, you're going to have ray optics also, AK beats, hold on for that. This helicopter is taking off with vertically with acceleration of 3, initial velocity is 0. Okay, let's start writing and analyzing what the situation is like. So this helicopter starts from the ground. Okay, this is the ground basically. So this helicopter starts with 0 velocity. It starts going up. It starts going up like this. And at time t is equal to t1, okay, at some point during the takeoff, what happens? The pilot switches off the engine. This is where he switches off the engine. And when he is going up with an acceleration of 3 meters per second square. Okay, fair enough. Now, once you turn off the engine, what will happen? The sound will stop coming, correct? Once the sound stops coming, understand, if there is a person standing on the ground, he will stop hearing the engine sound not at t1 seconds, but slightly more time, because the sound will take at least some time to travel. Understand? You turn on the engine, the helicopter goes up. You are hearing the helicopter sound. The pilot turns off the engine. The person on the ground immediately won't stop hearing it. It will take some time because the sound which was generated last is still traveling. Once the last bit of sound goes in, that's it. After that, the person on the ground won't be able to hear. Are you getting this? So it is given in the question, after turning off the engine at t2 is equal to 30 seconds. That means from here to here, the time which when it reaches, the last bit of sound reaches here, that is t2, which is basically 30 seconds. But technically, the sound has not traveled for 30 seconds. It has only traveled from t1 to t2. Think about it. Because when he turns it off, that is t1. That's it. After that time, how much time it takes? That will be t2 minus t1. Because t2 is the total time right from here. Remember, the time started right over here. The time started right over here. So this journey time delta t is 30 minus t1. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with that, my warriors? Perfecto. Do you guys agree with this? This should be 30 minus t1, not more, not less, because t2 is the total time, t1 is this time. So from here to here is 30 complete time minus this time. So that is what the remaining time is. Perfect. All right. Now think about it. We know the time. I think we need to find out this height. Only when I know this height can I solve the rest of the problem, because the same distance the sound will also travel. That green line will also have the same distance. So can I say the distance which has gone up by the helicopter is also the distance which is traveled down by the sound, and both of them are basically equal to h. Make sense? H going up, h coming down. So for the helicopter, use kinematic equation, that is ut plus half at square. But for sound, don't use kinematic equation. Sound will travel with constant speed. Sound will not accelerate or decelerate because of gravity. Be careful about that. Sound will travel at constant velocity, so it will be nothing but speed of sound multiplied by the time, which is delta t. Speed of sound multiplied by delta t. What is u? Initial velocity 0. Perfect. Can you see that? Initial velocity is 0 right over there. Perfect. So let's put 0 plus half into acceleration, that is 3 into t. What is t? T is just t1. So I'll just put t1 square is equal to speed of sound. The speed of sound is 320. So just put 320 into delta t. Delta t is nothing but 30 minus t1. Okay. Looks like I need to first of all shift 2 over there. So I will get 3t1 square is equal to 320 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 30 minus 320 multiplied by 2 multiplied by t1. Looks like a quadratic equation to me. Let's just arrange the terms. So it will be 3t1 square. This term is the next term. So minus 2 into 320 into t1. Sorry, that minus will become plus when you bring it here. And this term will become minus. So 2 into 30 into 3 120. Just check this out. See if this makes sense. 2 into 320 into 30. And this entire thing should be 0. Just check this out, my warriors. Is it making sense? If this is correct, then by our formula for quadratic, we can use our quadratic equation and solve this. So T1 will be minus B. Okay, so minus B is this one. So minus 2 into 320 plus or minus root of something divided by 2 into A. But now this entire inside term, I will calculate it separately. I don't want to mess it up over here. Let's just see how much will it come out to be. The inside discriminant will be B square. B square will be 2 into 320 whole square. Is that right? Correct? Do you see that? Perfect. Minus. Here also I have into minus 4 into A. A is 3 into C. C is this entire thing. So this will become plus. Just check this out. See if this is correct. Okay. C is nothing but 2 into 30 into 320. Fair enough. Now I can see I can do some magic out here. 2 into 220, 2 into 320 is common. 2 into 320 I will take it outside. Okay. And here 2 into 320 is remaining, which is just 640 plus one of this 2 has gone, one of this 320 also has gone. 4 3s are 12. 12 3s are 36. So it will be 360. So this will become 640 into 640 plus 360, that is nothing but 1000. So that will become 64 into 10 to the power 4. Just check this out. So I can just put it over here. So this will be a perfect square. 64 into 10 to the power 4. Does it make sense? I've just done the calculations right over here. Okay, I don't think I need this anymore. I'm just going to erase this. So what will be the final answer? Look at this. The value of T1 will be 2 into 320 is minus 640 plus or minus. The root of 64 is 8. Root of 10 to the power 4 is 10 to the power 2. So plus or minus 800 divided by, so this will be just 800 divided by 6. So this will be, I will not take the negative value. I will only choose the positive value because time has to be positive. So 800 minus 640, that is 160 by 6, which is 80 divided by 3 seconds. So I think I have found out that time. 80 divided by 3 seconds. Once I get the time value, I can find the velocity, because the question is what is the velocity of the helicopter? The velocity of the helicopter will be u plus 80. So u is 0, acceleration is 3, and time is nothing but 80 by 3, which is just 80 meters per second, which is option B, my warriors. Option B, correcto. That's it. So it's just kinematic equation, quadratic equation, and last is again one kinematic equation. So the understanding here was very important, that it takes some time to go up, takes some time to come down. That remaining time will be total time minus this time. So I have used that time over here, and the distance to go up, distance to come down is the same, but one is for the helicopter, one is for the sound. Rest all is just mathematics and calculations. Okay, I hope this is clear. So moving ahead. So YK kids, I would want you to appreciate, learn, and side by side solve more than you yourself trying. But if you want to try it on your own, then I would request you to pause and then continue. Even in a live session you can do that. Okay, next question. This is a standard easy one. Yep, Dinamma, the PDF is going to be shared, don't worry. The acceleration versus time graph of a particle moving in a straight line is shown in the figure. What do you think is the position versus time graph? What do you think is the position versus time graph? Think about it. The acceleration versus time graph is shown. What do you think is the position of a position versus time graph going to be? Think carefully. Acceleration time graph is shown. What do you think the position time graph will be? Okay. So think carefully. This is a straight line. Position time, how will it be? By the way, if you are aware of derivatives and integration, you already know this. If you have position, velocity and time, acceleration, derivative of position gives you velocity, derivative of velocity gives you acceleration. Integration of acceleration gives velocity, integration of velocity gives you position. So this is integration. And what happens in integral formulas? For example, if you have integral t raised to n dt, the integral becomes t raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. That means the power of time increases. Do you see that? The power of time increases by 1. Do you see over here? Acceleration is a straight graph. So acceleration graph is a linear graph. Linear graph, what does it mean? That it will be some function of time. So if it is a linear graph, there will be some t raised to 1 in the equation. Do you agree? There will be t raised to 1. So if acceleration has t raised to 1, velocity will have t raised to 2, because when you integrate, the power of t increases. And when you integrate it again, this will be t raised to 3. So it will be t cube. Now, is it a straight line? Obviously not. Parabola? No. Ellipse? No. None of the above? Yes. That's how it is. Yep. So hence the answer is none of these. Logic used was derivatives and integration. Position is the double integral of acceleration. Every time you integrate, the power of the variable increases. Next, this is a linear graph. That means the power of acceleration is t raised to 1. So when you integrate it twice, it will become t cube, and that's it. It's some random curve, but definitely none of the above. Okay, it's not hyperbola. Okay, it's not hyperbola. Yes, if the question said velocity time, guys, instead of position time, if it said velocity time, then what do you think the answer will be? Okay, yes, Charu, I'm coming exactly for that. If the question was velocity versus time, then what will be the answer? Acceleration will be t raised to 1, velocity will be t raised to 2, position is t raised to 3. Do you see square? And whenever you have a square, it is a quadratic equation, and the moment it is quadratic, it will become a parabola. Correct. Then it will be a parabola. Now you guys got it. So this is how you analyze the graphs. Perfecto. Moving ahead to the next question. Coming up on your screen. A body starts from rest at time t is equal to 0. The acceleration time graph is as shown in the figure. The maximum velocity attained by the body will be. Acceleration time graph, again it's a straight line. The question is, what's the max velocity attained by the body if it starts from rest? Interesting graph. See, you all know that whenever you have velocity time graph, the area under the graph gives you displacement. But when you have acceleration time graph, what do you think it gives? What do you think the area gives, and what do you think the slope gives? What do you think the area is going to be, and what do you think the slope of this graph gives you? Come on, my warriors. Yep, perfecto, Abhishek. The area under this graph gives you the change in velocity, and the slope doesn't give you anything. It's just a rate of change of acceleration. But in JEE syllabus, we don't study those things. Though you consider it as a non-uniform motion, but I know it's called as jerk and all of those things, but you don't need that. Okay, so it's just rate of change of acceleration. It's not going to give me anything which I can relate to right now. So hence, what do? Area is change in velocity. That means if I take these 2 points, I know what to do. The area is the area of the triangle, which is half, into base into height, which is 10, is equal to change in velocity, which is velocity final minus velocity initial. Final velocity, I don't know. Initial velocity, rest, that means 0. So the final velocity should be 10, this 2, 5, 5 11s are 55. That's it. That's the answer. 55 meters per second. Got it? So Raghav, I've already made a video, 4-minute 44 seconds video. Just watch it. It's already there in our past videos on the same channel. Just watch it. I have given all the details regarding the dates. Perfect, that is 55. Moving on to the next question. Yep, is the method of using straight line equation and then integration feasible? Yes, DM Kids YT, yes, it is a very good method, but I did it more logically, but yes, that's the same approach. Okay, definitely, Mr. Abid, I do remember you. I'll definitely get back to you. Why don't you leave a comment after the video ends? I'll definitely respond to you. Okay, Ashwin, it's not exactly impulse. Impulse is just change in momentum. Impulse is not rate of change of acceleration. A ball is thrown from the top of a tower in a vertically upward direction. The velocity at a certain point below the point of projection is twice that of the velocity at a point h above the point of projection. Find the maximum height reached by the ball above the top of the tower. Okay, let's draw the diagram. Let's say this is the tower. Okay, this is our tower and you throw the ball up. Let's see what happens. Throw the ball up, it goes up, goes up, goes up, and at some point it will have some velocity. Let's say at this point, okay, over here it has some velocity v. It goes up further, comes down like this, comes down like this, and over here this is another point. Now why are these 2 points important? Observe, at a point h above and at a point h below the point of projection. Where are you projecting? From the tower. Okay, so what is h? This is basically h. Even this is also h, and at this point the velocity is double. That's what the question says. Double of the velocity over here. It is twice. It is mentioned. It is twice of the velocity over here. Interesting. Now I know what to do. The question says, how far above the projection does the ball reach? The question is, find this total height. Okay, so that means if somehow I can find this much, whatever this x is, because at this point the velocity will become 0, I can find the total height, whatever is required. How do I find that x? I think I can write one equation from here to here. Just one equation from here to here. Just see this. How will it look like? That equation will look like this. V is there, x is there, final velocity is 0. So if I use final velocity square is initial velocity square plus 2as, final is 0, initial is v square minus 2 into g into x. Fair enough. So I'll just get v square is equal to 2gx. Cool. That's one equation that I get. Another interesting equation that you can get from here is, think this way, by symmetry again. If this ball goes from here and it comes down with speed 2v, had it not started from here but started from some other point below, just rewind the time back. Just think, it did not start from there, but it started from a point somewhere much below. Then when it reaches here, it would definitely have 2v velocity. Think again, because it's at the same height. 2v will become v, 0, v, 2v. Because whatever happens while going up happens while coming down at the same heights. This speed, same. Only directions are opposite. Agreed to this point? Agreed to this point? Perfecto. Okay, no Raghav, it will not be too late, don't worry. It is definitely not late. In fact, even if you complete it by January and it is fine, just watch my strategy video. Okay. Now, because I made this interesting conversion, now my job becomes easy. So from here to here, if I apply kinematic equation, just think from here to here, let's apply kinematic equation and see what do we get. So we will get, again, final velocity and initial velocity and the distance, everything is known. So final velocity will be v square, initial velocity will be 2v square minus 2g, displacement is 2h, correct? So minus 2g, 2h. So this will become v square is equal to 4v square minus 4gh. So 4gh comes here, v square goes there. So 4gh is equal to 3v square. Oh, but wait a minute, v square is 2gx. So therefore 4gh is equal to 3. V square is just 2gx. Now see what and all gets cancelled. G, G, 2, 2. So 2h is equal to 3x. So x is equal to 2h by 3. But that's not what the question says. Above the top of the tower. So above the top of the tower means x plus h. This is above the part of the tower. So it is x plus h, which is 2h by 3, plus h, which is 5h by 3, which is option C, my warriors. That's it. Got it? Got it, my warriors? So this is a brilliant question. Did you love this question? What have you used? We have used symmetry. And you can see the symmetry property is useful more than once. Not just in this question, but also in the previous questions. And that's the reason why I can directly say this point has the same speed as this point. And then I directly use kinematic equations between these 2 points. Another kinematic equation needed here. So that also I have used here. Solving these, I just got this. Adding it with height, I got the total height. That's what the problem is. Yep. So let's get moving to the next one. Coming up on your screen. There is a particle. Yes. Is there any shorter way? No, Neeraj, it is not there. And Pallavi, this is not 2021, this is 2022 JEE Physics. 2021 is over. We are aiming for JEE 2022. Okay? Alright. So Neeraj, is just a matter of getting hang of the equations and the speed. Understand that some questions are difficult, but not all questions will be difficult in the exam. But I am making sure I prepare you to the average and above average questions, difficult questions for JEE Mains. Because if I prepare you for easy questions, you will get 50% marks. But if I prepare you for the difficult questions of JEE Mains, then you will get 100% marks. So that's why you guys are here. Because you want to crack JEE 2022 in the first attempt, and the remaining time you can use to prepare for BITSAT and for JEE Advanced. Don't you? So let's get going. Yes, this is the first lecture, Pallavi, of sprint series. Particle starts from origin, velocity is given, acceleration is given. What is the distance from the origin after certain time? See, if velocities and accelerations are given in 2D form, and if the distance from the origin is asked, what you need to understand is that if this is the xy plane, okay, the particle will be somewhere here. It will have some y coordinate. It will also have some x coordinate. The distance from the origin is asked. That means this is asked. So how do you find this? Find this and this. And how do you find these two? That's easy. I'll tell you how. Just find displacement. S bar is u bar t plus half a vector t square. This s vector is basically this green vector over here, because it starts from the origin. This is its initial point, this is its final point. So this green arrow is exactly the displacement. Agree? So let's use this. What is u? 2i minus 4j, okay, into time. What is the time? 2 plus half into what is acceleration? 3i plus 5j into time. What's the time? The time is again 2 square. So 2 2s are 4, 4i cap, 4 2s are 8, so minus 8j cap. One of the two goes, 2 3s are 6, so 6i cap, 2 5s are 10, so 10j cap. Just check this out. Is it making sense? Perfect. So now 4i plus 6i. What is 4i plus 6i? Just check this out. 4i plus 6i, that is 10i. Minus 8 plus 10, that's just going to be plus 2j cap. So this is displacement. Now you know this is nothing but x, this is nothing but y. So that distance will be root of x square plus y square, which is how much? 10 square. 10 square plus 2 square, which is 104. It will be slightly more than 10. So it's going to be like close to 10.2 meters. That's it. Perfect. So 100's root is 10. So slightly more than that. That's it. Perfecto. Perfecto. moving ahead to the next one. Here it is. Shreyas, they might not necessarily be PYQs. No. It could be modified questions. It could be from the question bank of Vedantu. It could be also from some book. It could be also a question which is there prepared by the content team. So it is a mix and a combo of all the things. These questions are exactly those questions which are important for your final preparation. All right. Thank you, Pallavi. Means a lot. Can we take magnitude first and solve instead of taking magnitude at the last? No, Neeraj. Very good question you asked. For the previous one, if you take magnitude first and then solve it, you cannot solve the and get the final answer, because this equation S is ut plus half at square is not a scalar equation. This are all vectors. Only in 1D it works, because everything is in plus or minus. But in 2D, it's a vector equation. So you need to be careful. You cannot just take the magnitudes. Is that understood, my bachalo? Okay. So LC gamers, this is more than enough for NEET, because you are preparing for mains, and mains exam, obviously the preparation is tougher than JEE mains. All right. Projectile goes from the ground such that the horizontal displacement is given, vertical displacement is given, where k and alpha are constants, t is the time. Find the total magnitude of time of flight and also the maximum height attained. Very interesting question. See, the equation of y coordinate and the x coordinate is given. The question is, what is the time and what is the maximum height? Just draw a rough diagram. Just draw a rough diagram. This is your horizontal, this is your x-axis, this is your vertical, this is your y-axis, this is where your origin is. Now, if this projectile has to fall onto the ground, okay, so the time of flight can be calculated by this logic. When it falls on the ground, at this point, what is the coordinate? Y coordinate. The y coordinate is 0. Do you see that? At this point, the y coordinate is 0. That's where the time is time of flight. Let's use that. Use this. Y is equal to k t into 1 minus alpha t. Y coordinate is 0. K into t into 1 minus alpha t. Therefore, t is 0 or 1 minus alpha t is 0. But t can't be 0, or rather t0 is not the time of flight. So this should be the acceptable solution. So that means 1 is equal to alpha t. Therefore, t is equal to 1 by alpha. So this is basically your time of flight. So 1 by alpha, 1 by alpha, 1 by alpha. That's time of flight. Makes sense? Perfecto? Now, what's the last thing? Maximum height attained. If it takes a time of 1 by alpha to reach here, obviously to find the maximum height, I just need to find the y coordinate. I just need to find the maximum y coordinate. And I know one thing. At this point, the time will be half of the total time. Half gives you full time of flight. So this time is 1 by alpha. That means this time will be 1 by 2 alpha. Correct? So therefore, the y max value, what will be the y max value, my warriors? It will be nothing but, use this equation, k into time will be 1 by 2 alpha, okay, that time, into 1 minus alpha into t. T is again 1 by 2 alpha. This will be equal to k by 2 alpha. Alpha goes 1 minus 1 by 2, that is just 1 by 2 inside that bracket. So that will just become k by 4 alpha. So that's your maximum height. That's it. So I think it is there somewhere. Yes, it is there. Option D. Can you see that? Option D is correct. Very good. Perfecto, my warriors. So what was the logic here? You cannot use any of the standard formulas of projectile motion. You have to go from the basics. So the basics were, when it comes back onto the ground, the y coordinate will become 0. At the topmost point, the time taken is half of the total time. And that can be used to find the maximum height in the y equation. If somebody asks you what is the use of this equation, The answer is it is useless. It's not needed. It was just given to confuse you. Moving on to the next one. Perfect. Yep, dy by dt is equal to 0, and if you find y max, that is also correct method, but that place you will be wasting more time, because when you take the derivative, you are adding more steps. Use the logic of projectile, because it will exactly take half the time of the total time of flight. So that way you can save the time in the exam. Exactly, Avni. You can do it by dy by dt is 0. You will be wasting one step. Don't waste that time. You can use that time for something else. Even that is the correct method, I am telling you. That is correct method. There is nothing wrong in it. Okay. So Sharan, my internet connection is fine. Maybe you should check it on your end, because everything is going fine over here. I can see my stream health. It's perfect. It's 100 Mbps right now. Okay. So the two stones having different masses are projected at two different angles for same range with same speed from same point. What is the ratio of maximum height? The key word over here is same range. When do you get same range? You get same range for two distinct angles when they are complementary angles. When they are complementary angles. That means if this is the ground and you throw an object like this, you will get the same range for other angle if this angle and this angle are complementary. So if one is alpha, obviously the other one will be 90 minus alpha. Now the question is all about the height. This height divided by this height. What's the ratio of those heights? Now let's try and do this. What's the formula for height? The formula for height is initial velocity square sine square alpha by 2g. Right? That's the formula. Now the question is ratio of the heights. So h1 by h2. Speeds same, g same, 2 same. So these three terms will not matter in the ratio because they will anyways get cancelled out. So what will be there? Sine square alpha by sine square 90 minus alpha. Do you understand why 90 minus alpha? Do you understand why 90 minus alpha? Because it's a complementary angle. For complementary angles, range are same. What is sine of 90 minus alpha? It is nothing but cos alpha. So this will be cos square alpha. Sine by cos is tan. So this will be tan square alpha. So I think tan square alpha is somewhere here. So that's it. That's the answer. Done. Perfecto, Avni, Arun. Very good, DM. Very good, my warriors. That's the correct answer. Moving ahead to the next one. Coming up on your screen. There is a ball which is thrown from a point with a speed v0 at an angle theta. From the same point, same instant, a person starts running with a speed v0 by 2 to catch the ball. Will the person be able to catch? And if yes, what should be the angle of the projection? Beautiful question. Again, based on your visualization. Say you are throwing a ball with certain speed. What's the speed? You're throwing the ball with the speed of v0. It's obviously going to do a projectile motion, something like this. Same time, another person starts from here, but with a speed of v0 by 2. Its speed is v0 by 2. Now, if he is able to catch it over here, that means, think this way, when the projectile is fired, there are two components. There are two components of the velocity, y and x. Which component does not change? X component does not change. Why? Because the acceleration is only in the y direction. There is no acceleration in the x. That means x velocity cannot change. Correct? So, this velocity has two components, and if the x velocity equals the person's velocity, then both of them will be one below the other and they will meet at the same time. So imagine, split it up into two motions, 1D, 1D. So this 1D is going up and coming down. This 1D is going with constant speed. So let it take how much ever time it wants to. But eventually it's going to reach here. And if both these velocities are equal, then you will finally meet. Agreed? So hence Vx is V naught by 2 and Vx is V naught cos theta. So basically V naught goes, cos theta is half, so theta is 60 degrees. That's the answer. So answer is yes, and that is at 60 degrees. Yep. Yes, future doctor, you can definitely use it. Okay, so beautiful question, amazing question. Just based on a simple logic, the horizontal velocity never changes, and if both the projectile and the person have the same velocity, then you will eventually meet. You are just making sure you are below the projectile always, you are just moving with it, that's all. Okay, that's it. Yes, 60 degrees. Perfecto. Here is the next question. If the velocity of a particle moving in 1 day is given by kx square plus b, then the acceleration at x is 1 meter is equal to which of the following options? Figure this out. The velocity is given. The question is find the acceleration. Find the acceleration. Now what is acceleration? We all know it is dv by dt. Now the moment you put v, which is over here, what is the velocity? It is k x square plus b. You should stop because this is x, this is t. You cannot differentiate this. So what do? Chain rule. Chain rule, right? So just use chain rule because you have to make sure the variables are same. So d by dx of kx square plus b. But if you divide by dx, multiply by dx. So dx by dt. Good enough. Now this is differentiable. So let's do this. Derivative of kx square plus b will be 2kx, b's derivative is 0. Dx by dt is just v. So this is going to be 2kx into, wow, velocity is just the same thing. So just put it over here. Kx square plus b. So that's your acceleration. But that's not the question. The question is at x is equal to 1 meter. That means the acceleration at x is equal to 1 will be given by substituting x as 1 here. So the catch was to use chain rule, not differentiate directly, and also substitute velocity which is originally given in the equation or the question over there. So 2k into 1 plus, sorry, not plus, into k into 1 square plus b. So this will be 2k into k plus b. Is that option there? Yes, it is. Option D. Perfecto. What a question. Yes, you can do v into dv by dx. It's the same thing at the end of the day. Yep, it's the same thing. Okay. So this helps especially when velocity is not a function of time but a function of position. Now the entire PDF will be available to you on our new Telegram group. Make sure you join it. If you are already a part of old Telegram group, make sure you switch over to the new channel because that's what we are going to use eventually. And I'm giving you assignment right over here. You can take screenshot. It will be also available. The answers for this will be also available in the Telegram channel. Make sure you join it. This is your first question. This is your second question. And this is your third question right over here. 3 questions. You can take screenshots. You can pause the video also and take the screenshots. Now, those of you who are loving these kind of questions, or those of you who are like, oh my God, these questions are very crazy, I need help. Don't worry guys, don't lose confidence. Say, the aim of this series is to give you additional practice, not to scare you, not to make you very overconfident. So the aim is to make sure you guys prosper in the exam. And if you feel that just these questions are not enough, you need more help, then Vedantu's crash course is there. In that crash course, you have 90 classes of entire 11th and 12th standard along with 20 tests with the report cards, solutions, everything. You can compare your ranks also with your seniors and see where you stand, which is very important for doing analysis. You not only get those things but also more assignments for practice just for your sake from our Tattva module. From the Vedantu's Tattva module you get assignments and you get the recordings of all the classes. So all of this is at 20,000 rupees, but there is 50% off which is going on and you get it for 10,000. But if you use my coupon code, then you get additional discount of 10% and you get the course for 9,000 rupees. How do you join the crash course? It's very simple. So if you're watching the video right now, all you need to do is make sure you go to the description box below over here and you can see JEE crash course. Click on this link, go down. You can see all the details are mentioned. There are 2 versions. Choose the classic one because it's of the same price. What's the advantage? You get doubt solving as well by our experts on the mobile app. That's the advantage. Choose this. Just say buy complete course. You can see the coupon code would be already applied. You have saved 1000 rupees. You can pay via Amazon, Paytm, credit card, whatever you want to. That's how it is. So make use of the crash course for live sessions plus the recordings and also for assignments as well. Yep. We cannot differentiate directly, Neeraj, because that's how differentiation works. You should go to the basics of derivatives. When you have x, you can differentiate with respect to x. When you have y, you can differentiate with respect to y. When you have t, only with respect to t. So that's how it works. Derivatives, the basic principle of derivatives. Okay. Yep. So Shreyas, what happens is also when you use my coupon code, you will also have my guidance in a way, like anything goes wrong, you can directly get hold of me and you can make sure that the issue gets resolved. Okay, cool. So if you are studied nothing in 12th, but I hope you have at least done till the board level. If you have at least done till the board level, then it will help you. But if you tell me I have not done anything, nothing, zero, absolutely, then it will help you little bit. You will at least get something, but you need more time. You have to wait for more attempts and improve slowly. If you have zero knowledge, I'm pretty sure you would have studied something for boards. If you have studied something for boards, then it will help you. Is that okay? Cool. So relative motion and Riemann and all of that in another class, just a special class for relative motion and all of that. Don't worry. Yes, relative frames of reference. I have planned a separate lecture with pseudo forces and all of that. Don't worry, we are going to have it. All right. Chalo. Thank you guys very much, and we'll also have optics session very soon. Let me start with 11th and then go to 12th and all those things. So whatever you need, do let me know in the comment section. And yes, please post the answers as well in the comment section. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you very much for smashing the like and the subscribe button, and see you again in the next class. It's going to be on units, dimensions and vectors. Trust me, it's going to be amazing. It's not so easy, but you will have fun. Let me assure you on that. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great time. Hasta la vista. This was Captain Shreyas.